So this 980 was born out of being sick. I was at home, couldn't sleep. I had a cold, and I don't know, maybe some people read bedtime stories. I go down rabbit holes. So went down a rabbit hole, and I just gotten something new from New York about electric vehicle fires. So then I looked at the electric vehicle fire thing, which led to electric vehicle fire in a parking structure, which then led me down the rabbit hole of videos that I found of multiple cars, not just electric vehicles, but multiple cars burning in a parking structure. And they're in the link, or they're links in the email. And man, some of the fire and smoke coming out of these was substantial. You know, they're big events. I don't know if we had more of them or they're just more publicized, but there's quite a few videos I put in the links. There's also a link to a site that has other videos and other documents and training aids and things that can kind of give you, more stuff to look at, deeper rabbit hole to go down. So that reminded me of going through parking structures as a captain and underground parking and as a BC and pulling hose lines and pre-planning it out, which then got me thinking, what would be the worst case? And that reminded me of a drill I actually did with Captain Nosco years ago at this parking structure, which is the one at Los Robles. And to me, if you're going to when then think something, to me it seemed more complex because I got two issues. I've got a parking structure potentially with a lot of cars burning, and then right next to it, potentially downwind, I have a population that is difficult to move, and I have a critical building in my area that needs to maintain operation. I can't shut it down. I can't send everybody home. So I came here to look at it. Now, I'm going to walk around. I walked around a little bit and looked at some things, and this is off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm missing things. To me, I'm not a big fan of people sending me a tactical problem and not telling me what they think. Why did they pick that? What did they come up with? What was your reason for that? So I'll give you my ideas, and if I had my own Instagram site, I would say, hey, leave your comments in the comment section. If I'm off my rocker, then tell me. If you think of something better, tell me. If you think of something I didn't see, tell me. If you agree with something, tell me. I don't have my own site, but feel free to respond back in the comment section. Feel free to email me back. So just really quick, because I don't want to make this too long a video, I just kind of was walking around here. And I'm actually in an easier section because part of this is actually open to the air, not completely covered. If I was on level 2, it's completely covered. But so I started thinking, okay, how are you going to get water here? And so if you look back there is the stairwell. That's where the standpipe is. And that may be the best way to get here, or maybe it's the best way is just to drop bag and pull your line up from here. And maybe that's the best way. And why that's happening, could I get an engine company to put a deck gun into service and check the fire at least? Maybe they check the fire. So I started thinking about that. I go, yeah, it's a great idea, I think. Does your fire crews understand water mapping and where that water is going to actually go? Do they know how to get water where they need it? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, they know water mapping, they'll get the water there. And what I forgot about is the fact that they all have these big beams that run across them. So I could probably get water to these vehicles here. But that truck back there, I'm going to be hard pressed from down there 3 floors down to get water to that. Doesn't mean I wouldn't try to keep it in check, but it's going to be difficult, and knowing where the fire is, maybe then you come from a different angle. I don't know, but originally I thought, it'd be super easy, and then you look at all these big things in the way. Fire suppression systems, how will they work? Do we need to support them? And we should support them, but how will they work? One of the things I didn't do was look into how well the fire suppression system works in some of those fires that I sent to the videos, and I think it'd be really interesting to see if they just kept it in check from the car. I'll say they probably didn't, because there's more than one vehicle burning. And then I started walking through here, and your best bet would be, your best attack would be uphill of it, because I don't know what it is, but in the last 10 years, there's been a lot more vehicle fires where they have a failure that allows fuel and a running fuel fire. We've all seen fires where firefighters are fighting a vehicle fire, and all of a sudden there's running fuel fire coming at them, and they try to squirt it out with a nozzle and move it, and all it does is keep flashing back and it doesn't go out. Well, imagine it's one of these cars, and it's hard to tell, but that's a substantial grade behind me going down. So if I have fuel running downhill, burning that way, not only is it a hazard for crews, but look at all the cars that are down there. So now, instead of just these cars up here, I have all 10 of those cars down there. The other part of this is, I don't know where this drains to. It's got to drain somewhere. And do I end up with fire in the drain? Now, it'll probably go out because it's confined space, but now I have a flammable atmosphere in there. Do I need to monitor it? Should I call hazmat early so that they can help monitor that things and help? You got to remember that 10 cars burning as a hazmat at the end with all the fuel, oil. You're going to have to get environmental health there, so maybe you call them early so they can help. If you look at some of the other videos, you'll see they actually had structure collapse. So if I have structure collapse, maybe I call USAR, get them ahead of the curve to kind of help me for my concerns there as my experts, or be able to call the experts. Just some things thinking out loud that I saw here, just walking through. The second part of this, and the reason that made me think of this one, is the fact that I have Los Robos Hospital right there. I have a group of people that I can't move very readily, and I need to keep it operations. So what happens? Look at some of the fires, look at the smoke. And what happens when I put all that smoke on that building there? I know I need to get in touch with them. They're going to come out. They're coming out to talk to us. And the more comfortable we make them and the more we get them on board, the better it's going to be for us. And they've got some serious concerns. Some things to remember is they do have usually have their own incident command system. They use HICS, which at least they used to, hospital incident command system, same as ICS, but they have pre-designated groups and divisions and names. And they usually have a room that they'll come to and make their command post. And they practice every year, and so they have some system in place that you're going to want to tap into to use, because they're going to be able to tell you things like, how do we control airflow? Like, maybe we want to be able to shut the air off so it won't get smoke in the building, but you don't want to shut it off to like a surgical suite. So can we do that? Can we direct where the smoke goes? How about just the fact that if smoke does, we'll get smoke getting into the building no matter what. And even if it does, people inside are going to think it's happening. And could they get an increase in their patients getting worse, some legitimately and some psychosomatic? Either way, they get an increase in patients. Is that something that we want to help them with? Yeah, it is for sure. And so do we get ahead of the curve on that? How about the ER? The ER is going to be shut down. I'm sure they'll be on diversion, but we want to get that back in service. We have equipment blocking it. We need to be able to meet those needs to get this building back in service. Maybe we don't evacuate. Shelter in place is always going to be best, but maybe we don't evacuate, but we move patients from one side of the building to another. How easy is that going to be? Probably not, but that would be something that we would need to work with them. Plus, I've got everybody coming out of that building wanting to get all to their cars because their meds are here. They need to get home to their kids. The logistics part of this, I can't just leave them in the street and not talk to them. I have to find a place to put them. I have to communicate with them. I have to keep communicating with them. I just think there's a ton. I'm missing a ton because I don't want this to be that long a video. But there's so many things. Just think about it. And all the different problems that we have, and again, we're going to be the answer. It just is the way it is. That's what the fire service has become, and that's why we love this job. And we're going to have to be there to answer a lot of these questions, and we're going to have to be there to help. And I don't think there's anybody else better than you guys to do that. So you all to do that. I would say this, and thinking out loud, maybe this is a time for branch management. I have the parking structure branch and I have the hospital branch, because there's going to be so much going on in each one. It allows them to either manage the task level or make their own divisions and groups, whatever they want to do. I know, to me, it seemed like a good idea. I don't know. Like I said, put your ideas in the comments, criticism, concerns, send them. There's links to videos. Hopefully I didn't too long on this. 8 minutes is kind of a long video for me. Hopefully it made sense. Again, it's just something to think about. They're all over the place now and all different kinds. And good luck, stay safe, and have a good shift.